A quick announcement before we start today's video. New episodes from here on out will be released on a different day and at a new time. This change should align the premiere with a better viewing time for the majority of my audience while also working alongside changes with daylight savings. As the God Wars raged upon the surface world during the Third Age, many of the dwarves went into hiding below the ground constructing cities like Keldagrim. One dwarf, Yonrith Lovakenge, led an army of Saradominists to Lazar, a Zorosian fortress located on Ice Mountain. As they wiped out the Zorosians, the Imcando Dwarfs turned it into a city, which would come to be known as Camdazal. With their magical techniques, the Imcando Dwarfs experimented with golems under the mountain. Though the Imcando Dwarfs kept some level of contact with the surface races during the Fourth Age, it was not until the middle of the Fourth Age that the other dwarfs surfaced, having lost much of their magic, other than the ability to superheat items. To make up for this, they expanded their mechanical knowledge, developing advanced technology. Having discovered that the God Wars ended, they spread back out across the land. By the early Fifth Age, the dwarves have expanded out into Asgarnia. Though they were not trusting of the other races, they came to develop a good relationship with Falador. The Imcando dwarves meanwhile used their skills to develop weapons for the White Knights of Falador. The Imcando dwarves overestimated their defences and were nearly wiped into extinction as the magic-averse barbarians raided through the halls of Camdazal. The few Imcando that remained were said to have spread across the lands and hidden. The other dwarves of Asgarnia managed to keep strong and maintained a peace with Asgarnia. The dwarves now hold a camp north of Falador and even hold entrances to their mining tunnels in an illustrious guild within Falador itself. In these mines below Falador is the Motherlode Mine also, a large set of ore veins and a cleaning station run by the human prospector Percy. Today, Citizenscape will be making his way into the Dwarven Mines and developing a relationship with the dwarves. We have two quest tasks today. We'll be completing Doric's quest and also the Below Ice Mountain quest. We also have two achievements to complete today. We'll be finishing off the Falador Easy Diary by repairing a broken strut in the Motherlode Mine, as well as smithing blurite limbs on Doric's anvil. We'll be entering the Motherlode Mine and mining a full sack of pay dirt as part of our minigame tasks. For skill tasks, we'll be mining coal, iron, copper and tin, smelting them into steel, iron and bronze bars, then smithing items with these bars. We'll be working our way up to level 20 rune crafting to make use of the body altar, while also using our cooking and fishing skills to catch guppy and cavefish in Camdazal, then preparing and offering them. We'll be making a red berry pie and delivering it to the dwarves for another cooking task, and finally, mining baronite ore in Camdazal. For our combat tasks today, we'll be taking out a scorpion and king scorpion in the mining tunnels, while also taking out a mined golem and a flawed golem in Camdazal. For our miscellaneous tasks today, we'll be making purchases from Hura's crossbow shop, Nermoth's pickaxe shop, the Dwarven Mine general store, and selling an inventory of ores to Drogo's mining emporium. With all that in store for today, let's begin. Knowing that the Dwarven Mines can be accessed from within Falador, Citizenscape attempts to enter. He is, however, told that he's not experienced enough to enter this way, requiring level 60 mining to enter the mining guild. Yet another guild we're not allowed to enter. We talk with Dusuri nearby. Dusuri specializes in minerals not found on Gillinor, such as those found in the falling stars that we've mined in the past. Collecting stardust allows us to make some purchases with him. We quickly collect the stardust from our bank and make a purchase of a bag of gems. The bag is filled with sapphires, emeralds, rubies and diamonds. We can cut the sapphires and soon after the emeralds, earning us level 27 and 28 crafting. Looking to get into the mines and develop a friendship with the dwarves, we asked Dusuri about suggestions. He suggests that we head north of Falador to Doric, who lives in a hut alone.
Hello, traveller. What brings you to me, humble smithy?
Hi, I'm Citizenscape. Are you Doric? This is a nice workshop. Do you mind other people using your anvils?
Aye, Doric is me. I do mind as it happens. I'm busy with orders as it is. I can't just let anyone use my anvils.
Oh, I see. They're just so conveniently close to the furnace in Falador. If you're behind on orders, why not let someone help with the smithing?
It's not the smithing that's my problem. The ores are never here when I need them. And the clay I used to make the pickaxe mould hasn't arrived either.
If you need ores and clay, I'm sure I could aid you. How about this? Tell me what to collect and I'll fetch it for you right away.
Oh, I couldn't ask you to do that. Not for free.
Well, how about I get the order and you let me use your anvil? That way it's a fair trade. What do you need?
Well, why not? I really need 2 loads of iron ore, 4 loads of copper, and 4 heapings of clay for the casts.
Alright, I'm right on it. So we head off and collect the iron and copper ores from the mine near Falador. We know we can get clay in Remington, so we head there for that. Once we have all the items required, we return to Doric and hand them over.
Thanks, lad. I'm back on schedule. Couldn't have done it without you.
You're welcome. Quick question, I've heard that blurite can be made into crossbow limbs. Is that something that could be done on any anvil?
You can smith blurite. That's interesting in a human. Any anvil should work. I'd be interested to see it done, actually.
Well, how about I bring some blurite back with me and make them here? With permission to use Doric's anvil, we head back to the furnace and smith a steel bar and some blurite. We're looking to show off a range of smithing abilities to the dwarves today, so we make axes out of all the bars. With the blurite bars, we make a pair of blurite limbs and some bolts too. Making the limbs on this anvil was an easy achievement. We have the skills to turn the limbs into a full crossbow if we make an oak stock. With one of our axes, we cut a log from an oak tree, fletch it into a stock, then put the limbs to stock together. With the crossbow string that we've made previously, we can create a blurite crossbow. We still have feathers from previously, so complete the bolts too. It's time for us to enter the mines. Going through the entrance near the party room, we are immediately met with scorpions. We take down both a scorpion and a king scorpion with our new crossbow. During our fight with the king scorpion, we were visited by a genie and gifted a lamp. To avoid having to steal from people as much as possible, we put it into thieving, getting us to level 24. We continue down the tunnels past many working miners until we're stopped by a very strange door. We're not sure what to make of it and think it's best to move on for now. A number of stores are set up down here in the mines. Drogo trades in ores, bars and tools, while Hura trades in crossbows, limbs and stocks. There's a dwarven-run general store and a pickaxe store run by Nermoth. We've been using an iron pickaxe, though now we're able to use up to adamant. It's time to head up the nearby ladder and return with some coins. The dwarves have constructed a camp on the surface here, north of Falador. Their engineering is on full display with their cannons and workshop. With some money, we buy a willow stock from Hura, a hammer from the general store, and an adamant pickaxe from Nermoth, trading in our old pickaxe in the process. Banking everything else, we return with just our new pickaxe. We're going to mine a number of ores down here and sell them at Drogo's store. While here we mine coal, iron, copper and tin, getting level 37 mining while we do so. Selling the ores to Drogo nets us a small amount of coins. Searching further through the mines, we encounter a small gang of dwarves. We try talking to one of them, though they don't seem particularly friendly. Perhaps another time. Back near the party room entrance, we see a doorway into other mines. We're informed that the mining guild is this way, and we're once again reminded that we're not experienced enough. A small tunnel, however, takes us to the Motherlode mine. We're able to clear some rockfall and speak with Prospector Percy, who tells us that we can mine the ore veins here, deposit the unclean pay dirt in the hopper, then collect the cleaned ores in the sack after they wash down. We can also fix the wheels that churn the water using a hammer when they get knocked out of shape. Fixing one of these wheels is our final easy task in the Falador Achievement Diary. We mine away at the ore veins, collecting an inventory of ores. Once we've collected 3 inventories, the sack is full up and we can collect our coal from it. Within the sack are golden nuggets, which are useful to Prospector Percy. If we come back and gather enough in future, he'll trade for them. For now, we've tried out the Motherlode mine and returned to the surface. When we last talked to the Archmage of the Wizard's Tower, he told us of access to the body altar near the Dwarven Mines in the Barbarian Village. While we'd like to use the altar to show our skills off to the dwarves, we're not yet accomplished enough as a rune crafter to do so. We're currently only level 15 and need to craft fire runes back near our Parid until we reach level 20. Once we hit level 20, we return to the body altar and successfully craft body runes. Having completed all the tasks in the Falador Easy Diary, we can collect our reward from Cerebral. He gives us the Falador Shield, which allows us to recharge our prayer by 25% once per day. In addition, we're given an experience lamp that can be used for a skill over level 30. It seems fitting, so we use it on smithing, increasing our level to 34. To thank the dwarves for letting us use their mines, we try to cook a redberry pie, but we burn it. While the Imcando Dwarves are the ones known for their love of redberry pies, we're sure that other dwarven tribes may still enjoy it and appreciate it. We collect more flour and try again, successfully making a pie. And with that, we drop it off. A door, you say?
That's right, buried beneath a ton of rubble on the west side of the mountain. Could be ancient ruins.
Well, that's quite an archaeological find, I'm sure. What did you need me to do?
Well, I can't rightly leave this find unguarded. Ahem archaeologists might come and take it from me. I need you to get my team together.
I'm sure that won't be too hard. What do you need?
Well, the entrance is too blocked to just mine away. I'll need someone to blow apart the rubble. I'll also need someone strong enough to move the debris after we blow it up. Ancient ruins are often trapped. I'll need a traps expert to clear the way once we enter. If there are monsters, I'm sure you can handle them.
So you need me to find people with these skills?
I have a team in mind. We've worked together before, though we didn't part on the best of terms. You may need to convince them to help.
I see.
So we'll need to recruit Burntoff the Dwarf. He's likely around Falador in an inn. He can handle the explosives.
Alright, who's next?
An old mate of mine, Chekal. He has the strength to move the rocks, I'd wager. He's probably loitering around the barbarian village.
Chekal. Check. Who's the final person?
That'd be Marley. Best thief I know.
Thief? I thought this was an archaeological crew.
It takes a wide skill set to fully explore old ruins. I'd wager you've done a few less than legal things in your time?
Well, I suppose you're right. So where can I find Marley?
Well, he's a slippery one and none too easy to find. I bet his cousin Charlie would know. Charlie tends to hang out around the Blue Moon Inn in Varrock.
Okay, I've been there before. I'm sure I'll find them.
I'll be waiting on the west side of the mountain.
With the task at hand, we head first to Burntoff in Falador. As expected, he can be found at the inn. We go to ask him to join the crew, but he's more interested in a drink. Quickly heading to the bank, we grab a few coins and buy him a Dwarven Stout. Buying him a beer isn't enough though. He wants to play rock paper scissors with us too. He has a loose understanding of the rules, but in his intoxicated state we manage to win. 1 down, 2 to go. We next make our way to the barbarian village where we find Chekal flexing his muscles. He won't join the team right away. He claims that Willow doesn't appreciate the work that he puts into getting into shape. He does, however, agree to help us out if we put the efforts in and buff up ourselves. He directs us to the Longhouse where his own master, Atlas, resides. Atlas agrees to train us and we spend some time working out to get into shape. With our new physique, we return to Chekal and flex at him. He seems to find this impressive enough and agrees to join the crew. 2 down. Finally is Marley. We find Charlie outside of the inn where we were told he'd be. He tells us that Marley was caught up in a robbery and had to flee Varrock, though is likely hiding out in Edgeville, north of the barbarian village. You wouldn't happen to be Marley, would you? You share a striking resemblance to Charlie.
Might be, might not be. Who's asking?
My name's Citizenscape. Willow sent me about a job, some respectable archaeology work.
Archaeology? Since when did Willow get into all that?
What do you mean? She's an archaeologist, right?
Yeah, sure kid. What did you need with...
Well, I was told that you have some proficiency with disabling traps. We'd like to hire you to help us out.
Could do. Kinda hungry though.
Okay, well if I get you some food, will you do it then?
Really feeling a steak sandwich. They make 'em in the Blue Moon Inn, but I can't get there right now with all this heat on me.
Well, if I get you one, will you join the crew?
Sure thing.
So Citizenscape travels back to the inn and talks with the chef. The chef seems reluctant to make it once we tell him it's for Marley. He does agree to tell us the recipe though. A steak sandwich needs cooked meat and bread. It doesn't sound too difficult, though the chef is convinced that it's an art form. We make the sandwich, give it to Marley, and he agrees to join the crew. Willow told us there may be monsters, so we gear up and head around the mountain. Burntoff blows up the entrance, and Chekal removes the rubble. Marley disables traps inside before the crew enter. Citizenscape marvels at the place we've uncovered, but Willow seems less than impressed about the archaeological discovery, disappointed that the place isn't full of lost treasures. Something's not quite right. In the heat of the moment, Willow reveals that the team are not archaeologists, and that they're actually grave robbers looking for a big score. While they try to corner Citizenscape and dispose of him, Burntoff is looking around, finding the markings on the walls to be familiar. He accidentally sets off a pressure trap that causes the mountain to shake and awakens a golem nearby. In the confusion, the team escape, leaving Citizenscape to deal with the threat. We manage to take out the Guardian, getting level 33 hit points and 28 strength in the process. As the dust settles, we find that Willow has left her bag behind. The bag contains a pile of coins. Citizenscape thinks that he can make better use of these than she ever did. As we go through the bag, another loud bang can be heard. While we suspect it to be more golems, we actually spy a dwarf. This dwarf is Romano. He seems shocked that there's another person down here. He explains that what we've uncovered is the ancient city of Camdazal, the home of the Imcando Dwarfs, of which he is also one. Romano explains that the city is now nearly empty, but may be of some use to us. He runs a workshop here and tells us we're free to use the resources of the city. We make our way around the city, waking up and defeating a flawed golem and a mine golem in combat. We can bank near to the forge and mine baronite veins too. The baronite can be used to reinvigorate the forge and the city as a whole. While mining, we can find baronite deposits which can be opened on the anvil near the forge. Finally, there are unique fish like the guppy and cave fish which can be found in the waters of the city. Catching, preparing and offering the fish gives us fishing, cooking and prayer experience. Romano tells us that we may be able to find artifacts within the city left over from its destruction. In particular, parts of an ancient mace made of baronite. We may have to return and look for more in the city in future. For now though, we have an old friend to surprise. We briefly visit Thurgo, informing him of our discovery. He seems taken aback by the possibility of Camdazal being rediscovered, and that he's now not the sole Imcando Dwarf in Gielinor. The revelation seems to overwhelm him a bit, so we don't stay too long. With that, we've completed all our tasks here today and made a name for ourselves among the dwarves. We've briefly entered Barbarian Village and trained among them. We've learned about the destruction that the barbarians of old had upon the Imcando Dwarves, the wizards, and the populations of both Asgarnia and Mistalin. It's time for us to learn about the barbarian perspective. Please join me next time in Barbarian Village. If you'd like a chance to voice a character in the series, subscribe and join the Discord. Links in the description below.